When you're born, you look like your parents, but when you die, you look like your decisions. Today, let's just talk about the decisions you make. If your life continues in the exact same direction with your current decisions, are you taking yourself where you want to be in 5 years? It's talking to your face because it's really just talking about your life overall. Your past, it explains you, but it doesn't excuse you. And those little decisions that you make each and every day of your life, they create you and they become the end of you. What's the decision that you can make today that your future self can thank you? All right, let's go. If you're tired, not feeling fit, tired, just not having to focus, tired, just not having a life that you deserve, this is the place to be. I'm Jason Yarusi, and today let's just talk about the decisions you make. You know, I heard this the other day, and I've just been thinking about it constantly, is that when you're born, you look like your parents, but when you die, you look like your decisions. And many times, right, at the moment, we look like just our immediate decisions, right? You stay out real late drinking, and the next night you look hungover, right? You go and have a fight with someone and you look beat up, or you have an argument with your wife and you look discouraged, right? But many times you think about it, it's talking to your face because it's really just talking about your life overall. When you're born, you inherit a lot. You inherit your genetics, your family, your circumstances, the neighborhood you grew up with, the money your parents had, potentially the upbringing, or just what they have or did not have, and the opportunities you were given. None of this was your choice. But there comes a point where those things stop being your story and your decisions become your story. Yet many of us let those factors shape us forever. There's this famous story about two brothers who grew up in an abusive, alcoholic family with a father who was constantly a drinker. And years later, someone asked the first brother, well, why did you become an alcoholic? And he answered, with the father I had, what did you expect? The interviewer then asked the second brother, who had built just a successful business, was a great father and husband in a healthy family, well, why did you become the man who you are? And his answer was exactly the same. With the father I had, how could there have been any other way? Now, if you think about this, and those circumstances explain where they started, but their decisions determine where they ended. And that's just one of the greatest truths of life. Your past, it explains you, but it doesn't excuse you. Think about Abraham Lincoln. He lost elections, failed in business, battled depression, buried his children. Yet most people would have allowed those tragedies to define you. Lincoln, he kept deciding to just stand back up. And history, it truly remembers him not because life was easy, but because the decisions that he made was that when life was hard, his character stood the test. And character is revealed by the choices you make when honestly nothing is going your favor. I can think about a lot of times when honestly things didn't go my way and I acted rashly. And you learn over time that reaction, it was in the moment and it wasn't justified for who I wanted to become. I think about this as a husband, and every day I have a decision. I can put down my phone and be fully present, or I can be physically home while mentally somewhere else. And I see it everywhere over time, right? If you go anywhere, at work, at events, at my child's practices, traveling, right? I see people lost in their phone that are barely, physically they're there, but mentally they're lost into this little screen. Your kids, they need a dad. They need you to be present. And if you think about it, the time that you have with them is very short. And when you're there, they will remember it. And when you're not there, well, then you're setting the example. These same principles, they apply in business. People think successful companies are built on one of just some breakthrough moment. They're not. They're built on ordinary decisions that are implemented day in and day out, routinely, diligently, throughout time. And you keep avoiding the hard work, the diligent work, because you want these miracle moments. You want these things to adapt. But these decisions to stand up and to do the things that you know need to be done day in and day out, right? Those are what's going to make your legacy. What fascinates me is that most people overestimate the power of just one decision, and they underestimate the power of just 10,000 little decisions. And those little decisions that you make each and every day of your life, they create you and they become the end of you. Nobody gets out of shape in one day. Nobody builds wealth in one day. Nobody destroys a marriage in just one argument. Nobody earns trust in just one speech. Life compounds. One choice becomes a habit, and a habit, it becomes that lifestyle. The lifestyle becomes your identity, and eventually someone says, that's just who he is. But the truth is, that is who you have decided to become. The Apostle Paul wrote in Galatians, a man reaps what he sows. Notice he doesn't say a man reaps what he hopes, what he wishes, right? What he dreams, he reaps what he plants. And every decision is a seed. The seed becomes the forest or honestly, could become the weeds. But every seed grows. And the question is, what are you planting today? So let me ask you, if your life continues in the exact same direction with your current decisions, are you taking yourself where you want to be in 5 years? Will your marriage be stronger? Will your health decimate? Will your children know you deeply? Will your business reflect values, integrity, or just short-term, hopefully, greed? Direction is only short-lived. Your daily decisions are quietly leading you somewhere you never intended to go. Determine your destination. Take the action. So tonight, before you go to bed, what's the decision that you can make today that your future self can thank you? What is that will happen right now in this moment that will become the decisions for when you die that will show exactly who you are, the one who stands up when times are tough and when times are great, to be the man you're supposed to be. All right, I'm Jason Yarusi. This is the Little Wonder Podcast. Let's do this.